Okay, so I wanted to recap everything from this series on breaking even. I may even do a fifth video. However, what I want to crystallize is how you can manipulate everything with a little algebra. So, in terms of units, Q for units, for quantity of units, in a break-even formula would be equal to the fixed cost divided by the contribution margin, which is the price minus the variable cost. And let's say you were trying to solve for the variable cost. Like, say you knew the quantity you produced last quarter. You also knew roughly that not only did you barely scrape by the skin of your teeth, but you still had the same fixed cost of, let's say, 45 in our previous example, equals 45 minus, 45 divided by the price of 5 minus variable costs. So you knew all that. You just want to manipulate it a little bit to figure out the variable cost here. Well, what you do is divide everything, or multiply everything by 5 minus the variable cost, which is the contribution margin again. So you'd have this guy here, Q times 5 minus variable cost equals fixed cost. And you wouldn't want to distribute this because it would get unnecessarily messy when all you would need to do in this event is divide by Q. So you'd have 5 you'd have 5 minus variable cost equals fixed cost, which in a previous example was 45, divided by Q, which again in our previous example was 11.842, 842, and then now you want to get rid of the P, or 5, right? So you'd add 5 to both sides, and then if you want to get rid of the negative sign, you'll just multiply everything by -1. But first, variable cost equals 45 divided by 11.842 minus 5. Subtract the 5. Okay. And then, since you want to then make that a positive, again, if you multiply everything by negative, that is now plus variable cost, but we don't really need to put a a plus sign by it, but we can to emphasize the point. That's negative, and then now that's positive again. When we do all that, we're going to come up with 1.9996 approximately. 1.1996 equals 1.1996, and if we round that up, we'd have approximately 1.2, which is the number we had before. So, the beauty of algebra can be a little messy, especially when you're doing only your 4th video on the subject with limited real estate on this little whiteboard. Regardless, algebra is always fun. Always fun, no matter what. Don't let anyone else trick you that it's not.